To celebrate this Halloween, I want to talk about one of the other Halloween characters in BlazBlue, Valkenhayn. I know I'm kind of hopping forward, because this is Chrono Phantasma, but this is a character I personally played, a character that's very close to my heart, a character I do love. He is extremely spooky, and he is ridiculously stupid because he's a dude and I played him as a main for like a long period of time. So, Valkenhayn or Helsing, this is Rachel's butler. So canonically, this character is a hero. I'm not saying he's a hero because he carried me so hard while I played him. He has a very unique special ability. It is his BlazBlue, so every character has a unique mechanic on the D button, which is the drive button. Normally, BlazBlue characters have standard stuff like Jin can freeze you, but Valkenhayn's special ability is that he can transform into a werewolf. So, like many BlazBlue characters, Valkenhayn is totally balanced around his resource. So you see right above the meter at the bottom of the screen, there is a little icon with the dog's face and a bar. So this is the werewolf meter. While he's in this mode, this meter will slowly drain, and while he's in human mode, the meter will slowly fill up. When you start every round, you are human, just like this. And as a human character, he's not really special. So the main things he has going for him just on this mode is that he has very large buttons. This is 5C, this is jump C. But besides that, he has lower than average health. His backdash is good. He doesn't have a meterless reversal, for example, but he has a step dash. Generally, step dashes in BlazBlue are not considered to be a good thing. In GG, there's some characters who it's kind of an advantage that they have this, but in BlazBlue, it's usually not a good thing. Standard mobility, like a run, is usually much more preferred. But in Werewolf, he gets a lot of new things. I mean, quite frankly, he is a beast. So he becomes smaller, of course, and his movement becomes insane. So he has the best walk speed in the game. So he doesn't actually run. I'm trying to tap run. He does have a backdash. This is, I could not find CP 1.0, so I cannot show you his very broken backdash in 1.0. But his normal walk is extremely quick. He also has an 8-way dash in this mode. So he's able to dash backwards, forwards, up if you want. And he's able to stop his movement at any time, either with more movement or with attacks. So for example, I can dash like this if I want, but I'm going to burn the meter. Or I can dash and just press the button right away. And each dash will use a little bit of meter. So he gets access to a command grab. So in more recent versions of BlazBlue, like this one, again, I could not find the original version of Chrono Phantasma on PC. But when you get a successful grab, you get your wolf resource back. So in the original version, this version of the game, this was just an untechable command grab, where now they have it as, it's a techable throw. Most importantly in this mode, because of this, he gets access to quite powerful mix-ups. This input here is called the wolf break, so this makes him break instantly. So there's a combination of inputs that give him access to instant overheads he would not have access to normally. So normally, a pretty simple offensive sequence in Werewolf would look something like this. This is a mid attack, so these two you don't have to worry about too much. This is a low, we'll revisit this. This into this is a fast overhead for sure. So the gap between this and this is usually where people can try to challenge, and where you can set a simple mix-up of either doing one overhead into low or two overheads. So this would be your hit confirm string. This would be what you would use to set up to have enough block stun to continue, and then you would move into this or this. The issue is, if you combine this movement with certain inputs, you can get some pretty unique movement that lets you do instant overheads from basically anything, just like whenever you feel like. This is, as the Valkenhayn players call it, the wolf break jump A. So what did I just do? So this is a combination of 3 inputs. So input number 1 is dashing down like this. Then input number 2 is canceling the dash into this little flip right here. This is the wolf break. So because you're stomping, you're able to cancel the wolf break into a normal, which gives us this. This is the definition of an instant overhead, and this is really cheap because this super opens up his mix-up options. So as you saw, if you only use the basic of, right? So you can air dash at them with a wolf attack. However, if you wanted to open this up, let's say, you would have to do something like this or this. Still fast, but you won't really catch people off guard like this, as opposed to instantly going off the ground whenever you want. So this really opens up his offense, because now he has access to this style of mix-up where I could do one button into an instant low or one button into an instant overhead. As you can see in my recordings right now, Jin is blocking everything. I almost called him Kyle. So where this has a gap, and this has a gap, and honestly even this has a gap. So as you can see here, I had Jin blocking like everything, but actually, if we set it to guard first only, what we were using before, for example, like this, or this, like this, or this, or this, even this, all have like small gaps in there. But with the Wolf Break Jump A technique, you get an airtight instant overhead in your pressure if you want. So that makes this, the Wolf B, much stronger. So now you have this, or you have this as an option. And finally, another really strong point about him in Werewolf is not just how fast he is walking, but how good his neutral is overall. So I only talked about his walk speed, but he has a god with punish in the Wolf Cannon. He has the best anti-air in the game in Wolf 5B, a great footsie tool in Wolf 5C, which also doubles as a mix-up with the same technique we talked about before. Give him access to a double low option that he wasn't really supposed to have very easily. Makes Werewolf an incredible threat. Speaking of the anti-air, the main reason is that whether or not you actually hit them, you get a combo. This thing always trades in his favor. So I could just hit him like this. So despite all these amazing things, the one big weakness that he has is that he cannot block in this mode at all. How do all these things come together? So basically he is a neutral mobility demon with amazing mix-ups in basically all situations, with no bad matchups, decent damage, amazing corner carry, and relatively simple resource management. Usually in Arc Sys games, how you interact with your resource is a really important part of how good the character can be. So in Valkenhayn's case, one really important thing that he has is that you're switching between werewolf and human all the time. So if you use the technique we talked about before, the Wolf Break Jump A, you'll be able to access something like this. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to drain my wolf meter on purpose before I do the mix-up, and then do the mix-up in Werewolf and switch to human. This combo was a very simple example, but it's just to show that he can basically not care too much about burning his meter, go for one more attempt, and then switch back to get all the resource back and keep going. So with all this context, let's go back and look at some examples of the lunacy that is Valkenhayn R. Hellsing at his peak. Alright, so here we are. This is final round number 17. So this is, I had to check, by the way, but this is March 2014. I'm out here playing Valkenhayn R. Hellsing in a pimp suit against Lord Ivysaur, a long-time strong player from the Georgia scene in the South. And of course, I hope you have your 480p glasses on. I kind of wanted to go with this one mostly because I wanted to emphasize a point on how he has no bad matchups. I have Kokonoe here, and you may or may not have heard of this character, Kokonoe, as at this point, maybe the best BlazBlue character of all time. I actually personally think it's CT Carl, but a lot of people default to Kokonoe, mostly because of her ridiculous damage, her easily accessible, unblockable, just an unblockable super, and just how she kind of deletes everybody in neutral. But now Valkenhayn. So I came here prepared with Valkenhayn. So you're going to see me switching between werewolf and human very frequently. Here's a nice little combo. This is actually probably one of his only other flaws. I talked about his defense not being the best, but there are times where if you have limited resources, you can't carry them to the corner, and you basically always want to carry them to the corner. His mid-screen setups are not something to be very proud of. It's just like knockdown, and you dash once, and you hope they don't run away from you. Where in the corner, they can't really do anything. You just pin them down. Here, I'm just going to try to run away, trying to stall with his overdrive. His overdrive is he turns into a super werewolf, and he becomes way faster. That's the other thing. Dead angle in the corner. The trade in my favor. I dropped the combo, though. The trade in my favor with the Wolf 5B anti-air. That move is really belligerent. So, like, in GG, you know, I play Milia, I play Baiken, but also, like, a lot of my side characters have good anti-air, like Geo has the super and stuff. Valkenhayn is like my nightmare on the other side, where you unless the opponent has some type of really good thing to stop you from doing it that's independent of them, you really can just mash on it. Using the 6C to crush the throw, that little hop kick is an overhead. Combo drop though, the nerves are there. Double low, airtight just cause. The burst, I've been all offense this whole time. So he's fast enough to pull up to her pillar that is activated when you get near it and just instantly move away. His mobility is a really huge part with why he can compete with Kokonoe. I always thought he was even with this character, and basically he had no bad matchups, like I said before. Just a couple of even matchups, like Lychee notably, Kokonoe of course, and Rachel. I used to counterpick Rachel because I just didn't feel like learning it. Frankly, I just gotta be honest. Besides that, it's like all winning. Like he just beats everybody. In game number 2, I just fly full screen, just cool. So he has a thing here where some of his normals have like wolf limbs. It might be a little difficult to see the 480p unless you got your glasses on. So you can see right there, he's got his kind of limb sticking out. It's like a wolf limb. So any move he has where there's a wolf limb like that, he can instantly transform and come flying at you the way I did right there. I hit him with the double low, burst immediately because he's not trying to see all that. Navigating around the fireball. I literally do not care about any of this projectile garbage. I'm just in there. I'm Valkenhayn. I'm a hero. I'm getting carried by my hero. So I'm going to carry him to the corner here because I have plenty of resource. And I go for the command grab. But I missed that link because I'm not a good player. Anyway. A nice little simple combo here. So at this point, actually, I didn't have the technique down. But his mix-up is so good that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I will say it took me a little bit to master some of his techniques. You definitely do need execution to play him. He's one of those characters where, like, once you get the execution down, you can kind of do whatever. There's skill behind his movement because he can't block, right? So you need to be able to navigate, but also his movement is really broken. Hit him with the low because he's scared. I'm going to get a big combo. That low, that little sweep is a big damage. By this point, this is Chrono Phantasma, so it's not like a continuum shift where great starters do like 5k all the time. You're expecting about 30% or so. Gonna knock me down here. I'm just gonna fly away from it because I really don't care. But thankfully, Ivysaur got in. It's gonna get a nice little extension here. Drops the combo because he's nervous. So even that special move, all his special moves let him transform into Werewolf. Okay, baiting. I had this punish on deck, except I didn't do the combo. He's in a bad spot. This is like end of the road type. One more burst. Okay, I'm gonna dead angle. Dead angle RC means I'm in there. Into human low. Again, very flexible. I air dash, switch to human. He can't usually do a low from air dashing at you in Wolf. So this is a gimmick, by the way. This is like the first mix-up every Valkenhayn player learns is this human into low, but all faithful. Alright, so here, so as usual, I want to grab like just one more set. My good old boy Valkenhayn. You might have to adjust your glasses to the 360p setting. Winners finals of that year's Super TSB. Valkenhayn versus Jin. This is a terrible matchup for Jin in this version. This is really bad, but you have to be a robot. So it's something I didn't really touch on because I just was talking about like Valkenhayn's basic stuff. But essentially, I mean, you guys know me by this point. I'm a robot. I try to turn the games into robot games, and this character is 100% that because you can just option select everything. Everything carries to the corner. Every time you touch them, you just 50-50 them multiple times. Part of my reason for even playing this character in the first place, if you were watching like character retrospectives from last year, I actually did like Persona Evo retrospective after another YouTuber made one about Yume. Yume, the Persona 4 Arena 1 champion. And one of the reasons why I picked this character was because of Yume. Because I was like, this is exactly the thing I lost to last year. Like, what are you supposed to do against a character that has God neutral, gets mix-ups of absolutely everything, gets knockdowns of absolutely everything, always carries to the corner, always has good situations, right? If your defense is on point with them, too, and like they never hit you and you just touch them, you just win. So like, how do you beat this? Everyone will always ask, why don't you play Kokonoe, especially if you think she's broken? Like, why don't you only play Kokonoe? But I kind of just want to establish personally whether the theory was correct, and people at this time in our region was like, his character Valkenhayn a little overrated. So anyway, my boy in the pink with the pink Jin, my boy Haven does take the first round. He's playing very well. Round 2, what's gonna happen? The 5H started around, as you saw, and once again, you can transform instantly into a werewolf off some buttons. In the corner here, so I'm gonna get some mix. I'm gonna get some more mix. Double wolf break JA, but I'm out of werewolf. So now I have to work hard. This is probably the hardest you have to work with Valkenhayn, is when you don't have werewolf, because when you run out of the resource, it actually takes a while for it to come back. He doesn't have a super that just gives it back to him instantly. The best thing you can do is use your overdrive, so offensive burst, to get it back really fast. But if you don't have that available either, then you're basically screwed. So I have him in the corner, trying to bait. My bait is also a 50-50, and he is going to die. Boom. So he has a lot of ways of moving around the screen. Another really strong thing about him is that a lot of his movement doesn't really take resource besides what he would be losing anyway. You have like this movement at the start of the round, so it is a little bit difficult to see because of the quality, so I apologize. But so I move all the way here, and I basically used no wolf meter. And the way that I did it was I super jumped and switched into wolf from my super jump, and I wolf air dashed, but the normal air dash, not with the D button, to go to the other side of the screen and just go to footsie mode. Getting under him, he knew he couldn't press the button because of wolf 5B. Jin is not really good at stalling in the air like that. Okay, got him. My wolf normals. I am the wolf. So knocked him down with confidence, attacking him. He wasn't sure. The same 50-50 that I showed y'all before. There's the throw. Nice. So he gets a nice little extension here. Into a reset, a knockdown, a knockdown. Pulls me out of the corner, throws me, I escape. See what I mean? Like, he has to like throw me and stuff at his Blaze Blue, so like it's kind of hard to throw people in Blaze Blue. There's that anti-air 5B in action. This is what it actually looks like when you're in practice. He tries to hit me, I do Wolf 5B, I connect with my human 5C into a big old bombo, about almost 3k, 2.7, baiting DP. The only thing keeping me in check is the fact that he has DDP. That's it. Okay, so he did swords. I'm chilling. Jumping out, just trying to find a place to just wiggle out. This combo's capped, but it's fine. Save jump. Oh, here, I remember this actually clearly. I go for this corner trick that I screwed up, and then I lose the game because I don't have burst. Hey. Yeah, do you see what I mean? Like, what's the difference though? Like, he has to like throw me, and he has to purple throw me to catch my option select tech. If you don't know that, Blaze Blue has a way to tech throws while you're doing the equivalent of faultless defense called barrier block. So it's barrier throw OS. In the current version of Blaze Blue, it's still a good option select, but it's still risky. The further back you go in Blaze Blue history, the more broken this option select is, and it's still relatively strong in this version of the game. So he has to call that out. Where meanwhile, I can just touch him and 50-50 him multiple times. Just whatever I feel like doing, whatever my hands will allow me to do, essentially. Jumps out of the double low, tries to fight back, and then my Wolf 5B doesn't matter. Valkenhayn's drunk behind the wheel, goes the wrong way anyway. I definitely did not do that on purpose. So I did double low into double overhead, and he's finally like, I've had enough of your nonsense. Okay, cross same side. And human low, so it's too much variance to the mix. Safe jump. So this is a little quiet of a thing, but how flexible he is in switching between modes, where I could do like jab, jab, and threaten with a frame trap by switching into werewolf. So jab, jab, Gatlings into werewolf switch, and then I do instant overhead immediately. And I switch back to human because I have no resource into a full combo. What a joke, actually. I definitely thought I was nasty. into the finish. Also, that was a ton of button presses. I actually like characters where you press like a ton of buttons. It's one of the most fun things about like Happy Chaos is like you're just pressing a lot of buttons. And when pulling up, the double low, getting hit by low from him is a big deal. This is going to be about 30%, just under 30%. Baiting the DP. I don't actually have to bait like that because he doesn't have 25 meter, but you know, I want like a hard bait. There, I was reading the 25 meter DP. Jin is like the only, I could be wrong, but at least in this version, he's the only character that has 25 meter options you have to worry about. Using the tackle to just switch sides right away. Moving hitbox, plus can transform into werewolf. Ooh, baiting. I'm going to kill werewolf. Yup. Here it comes. Overhead blocked. Throw not teched. Into a knockdown. Into a chase. Into Following pressure, this is my counter spell to get out. Bait the burst with the wolf backdash, and he's dead. So yeah, that's Valkenhayn. So this is one of the spookiest characters in Blaze Blue. Both him and Rachel are based off Halloween too. Like Rachel's stage is like a Halloween looking stage of pumpkins and roses and stuff. And this character, I know now he's not top tier. I'm pretty sure he's like high tier. But from inception in BBCS1, he's been top tier in so many versions of the game. He's a classic example. And I touch on this at the beginning of a version. Everyone's like, he's ass because they changed all his old broken stuff. And then people just find new broken stuff. This one's a perfect example. This is the first version of Valkenhayn that's not like a damage machine. So in BBCS1, when he was DLC, he was the best character in the game. His 2C anti-air counter hit led into like 80%, command grab into 60%. Like his wolf like little leg, little paw, that's a low, so you could do paw or paw overhead. Like it was just really hard to defend. Everything did 50 to 60%. Like he was a joke. In this version, he doesn't do a ton of damage, so that was the main reason why people were thinking he was bad. He didn't have double low at the beginning, but as usual, you know, tech monsters will be tech monsters, and they did their job. So even though there are some other characters in Blaze Blue that are definitely really stupid, that are definitely worth talking about, I thought for Halloween we gotta go with the other Halloween character. I did Rachel last year, so this is my boy, because I am a Rachel hater. Valkenhayn's my boy, bro. I love me some Valkenhayn. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.